Unbelievable drama at the funeral of former President Edgar Lungu. A South African man has publicly claimed to be his biological son. The moment shocked mourners, triggered a wave of reactions, and raised serious questions. Who is this man, and is there any truth to his claim? Warning: chaos erupts during the funeral proceedings of former Zambian President Edgar Lungu, as a South African man shockingly claims to be his long-lost biological son. DNA: is the man telling the truth? Balance scale: has the Lungu family responded? Zambia: what are the legal and political implications of this surprise? In this video, we break down the dramatic incident, the eyewitness reactions, family statements, and what this revelation, true or false, could mean for Lungu's legacy. Only on InspirAfrica Official, where Zambia's real stories are told. 1. Is the man telling the truth? Without specific details about the man, his claim, or the context of the funeral, determining whether he is telling the truth is challenging. Truth verification requires evidence, intent, and context. Here's how we can approach this. Lack of specifics: the identity of the man and the nature of his claim are not provided. If he's claiming something dramatic, e.g. being a secret heir, having evidence of foul play, or revealing a hidden truth about the deceased, we'd need to assess his evidence, motives, and credibility. Evaluating truthfulness: to determine if someone is telling the truth, we consider evidence. Does he provide verifiable documents, witnesses, or other proof? For example, if he claims to be a relative, DNA evidence or legal records could support or refute this. Context: funerals are emotionally charged settings, often ripe for dramatic claims. The man's timing could suggest either genuine urgency, e.g. revealing a truth before it's buried, or opportunism, e.g. seeking attention or disruption. Motive: is he motivated by personal gain, e.g. inheritance, political leverage, revenge, or a desire for justice? Without knowing his relationship to the Lungu family or the deceased, this is speculative. Corroboration: have others, e.g. mourners, family, or authorities, supported or contradicted his claim? No specific information is available here. Hypothetical scenarios: if the man claims something like being an unacknowledged child of the deceased, we'd need legal documents or family testimony. If he alleged misconduct, e.g. political corruption tied to the Lungu family, official investigations or public records would be key. Without details, I can't confirm his truthfulness. Skeptical approach: given the lack of concrete data, it's prudent to remain skeptical. Dramatic claims at public events like funerals often serve as stunts for attention or leverage, but genuine revelations are possible if backed by evidence. Conclusion: without specifics, I cannot determine if the man is telling the truth. If you provide details about his claim or identity, I can analyze further, potentially searching for corroborating posts on X or web sources. 2. Who is the man making the claim? The identity of the man is not specified in your query, and no clear references to a chaos at the funeral event involving the Lungu family appear in my data. Here's how we can approach this. Possible identities: the man could be a family member, e.g. a distant relative or estranged sibling with a personal stake. A political figure, especially if the Lungu family is tied to politics, e.g. the Lungu family in Zambia, where Edgar Lungu is a former president. A public figure or activist seeking to expose something about the deceased or the family. An unrelated individual with a grievance or agenda. Context clues: the name Lungu suggests a connection to Zambia, where Edgar Lungu, president from 2015 to 2021, is a prominent figure. If the funeral relates to his family, the man could be someone from the political sphere, a rival, or a citizen with a grievance. However, no specific funeral event tied to the Lungus is documented in my sources. Speculation based on context: if this is a political figure like Edgar Lungu, the man could be a whistleblower, a political opponent, or someone claiming personal ties, e.g. an unrecognized heir. Without details, I can't narrow it down. Verification challenges: identifying him would require media reports or X posts naming him, his relationship to the Lungu family or the deceased, the nature of his claim, e.g. personal, legal, or political. Conclusion: the man's identity is unknown based on available information. If you provide more details, e.g. the country, the deceased's identity, or the claim's content, I can refine this analysis or search for relevant data. 3. What did he say publicly? Without specifics, the content of the man's public statement is unclear. Here's how we can analyze this. Types of claims. At a funeral, dramatic public statements might include personal claims, asserting familial ties, e.g. I'm the deceased's son, or revealing secrets, e.g. the deceased was betrayed. Political claims. If tied to a prominent family like the Lungus in Zambia, he might allege corruption, election fraud, or misconduct by the family or associates. Legal claims. Accusing someone of causing the death or contesting a will/inheritance. Public nature. The question implies the statement was made openly, likely during the funeral, causing chaos. This suggests a disruptive or shocking claim, possibly involving sensitive family or political matters. Hypothetical examples: if political, e.g. tied to Edgar Lungu, he might have said the Lungu family hid corruption tied to the deceased's tenure. Such a claim would stir controversy, especially in a public setting. If personal, he might have claimed, I have proof I'm entitled to the estate, leading to chaos among mourners or family. Evidence needed. To assess what he said, we'd need direct quotes from media, X posts, or eyewitness accounts. accounts. The setting, e.g., was it a speech, an interruption, or a confrontation? Reactions from others to gauge the claim's impact. Conclusion: the man's public statement is unspecified. It likely caused disruption, but without details, I can't pinpoint its content. Provide more context, and I can search for or analyze relevant statements. 4. Has the Lungu family responded? No specific response from the Lungu family is documented in my sources regarding this funeral or claim. Here's a general analysis. Expected responses. If the Lungu family is prominent, e.g., Edgar Lungu's family in Zambia, their response would depend on the claim's nature. Denial. If the claim is false or damaging, they might issue a public statement denying it, possibly through media or legal channels. Silence. High-profile families often stay silent initially to avoid escalating controversy, especially if the claim lacks credibility. Legal action. If the claim involves defamation or inheritance disputes, they might pursue legal recourse. Zambian context. If this involves Edgar Lungu's family, they might respond through political allies, a press release, or social media, e.g. X. Edgar Lungu, as a former president, has faced political scrutiny, so his family might be cautious about public statements. Evidence of response. Without a specific event, I can't confirm a response. No X posts or web sources in my data mention a funeral-related scandal involving the Lungus. Conclusion: there's no evidence the Lungu family has responded to this specific claim. If you clarify the event or claim, I can search for responses on X or elsewhere. 5. What are the legal and political implications of this surprise? The legal and political implications depend on the claim's nature, the deceased's identity, and the context, e.g., Zambia's political landscape. Here's a detailed breakdown. Legal implications. Inheritance disputes. If the man claims to be an heir, this could lead to challenges to the will in probate court, DNA testing to verify familial ties, delays in estate distribution causing family tension, defamation. If the claim accuses the Lungu family of wrongdoing, e.g., corruption or murder, they could sue for defamation if the claim is unsubstantiated. In Zambia, defamation cases require proof of falsity and harm to reputation. Penalties include fines or imprisonment. Criminal allegations. If the claim involves a crime, e.g., foul play in the death, it could trigger police investigations. Autopsies or exhumation if the death is suspicious. Public disruption. If the chaos involved violence or public disorder, the man could face charges for disturbing the peace. Political implications. Zambian context. If tied to Edgar Lungu, a former president and leader of the Patriotic Front (PF), the claim could have significant political fallout. Opposition strategy. Lungu's opponents, e.g., the United Party for National Development (UPND), might use the claim to discredit him or his party, especially if it alleges corruption or scandal. Public perception. A shocking claim could sway public opinion, either rallying support for Lungu if seen as a victim or damaging his legacy. Election impact. With Zambia's next general election in 2026, such a scandal could influence voter sentiment or political alliances. Public trust. If the claim exposes systemic issues, e.g., government corruption, it could erode trust in institutions, especially if the Lungu family is seen as complicit. Media amplification. In Zambia, media and social platforms like X would amplify the story, potentially polarizing the public. Factors influencing implications. Claims credibility. If the man provides evidence, legal and political consequences are more severe. If it's a stunt, effects may be short-lived. Family status. If the Lungus are politically connected, the implications are broader than a private family dispute. Public reaction. Widespread outrage or support could pressure authorities to act, e.g., investigate or dismiss the claim. Conclusion. The legal implications could range from inheritance disputes to defamation lawsuits, while political implications might include damage to the Lungu family's reputation or broader political fallout in Zambia. Specifics are needed to refine this analysis. 6. Reactions from mourners. Without details about the funeral or claim, mourner reactions are speculative. Here's a general analysis. Emotional context. Funerals are solemn, emotionally charged events. A disruptive claim would likely provoke shock and confusion. Mourners might be stunned, especially if the claim is personal, e.g., an unknown heir, or scandalous, e.g., accusing the family of wrongdoing. Anger. Supporters of the Lungu family might resent the man for disrespecting the deceased or disrupting the event. Curiosity. Some mourners might demand more details, especially if the claim resonates with known rumors or grievances. Division. The crowd could split between those believing the man and those defending the family. Cultural context. In Zambia, funerals are significant cultural events, often attended by community members, politicians, and media. A public claim could spread rapidly via word of mouth or social media, lead to physical or verbal confrontations if mourners feel disrespected. Hypothetical scenarios. If the man claimed to be an heir, mourners might gossip or demand proof, with some sympathizing if he seems credible. If he alleged political corruption, politically aligned mourners might cheer or jeer based on their affiliations. Evidence needed. Specific reactions would be documented in media reports describing the scene, X posts from attendees or observers, statements from community leaders or attendees. Conclusion. Mourners likely reacted with shock, anger, or curiosity, but without specific specific accounts, I can't confirm details. Provide more context, and I can search for relevant reactions. 7. Has the Lungu family responded? Repeated question. This repeats question 4. As stated, no specific response from the Lungu family is documented. Refer to the earlier section for details. 8. Legal and political reactions. This overlaps with question 5, but may refer to reactions beyond the family, e.g., from authorities or political figures. Here's an expanded analysis. Legal reactions. Police or courts. If the claim involves a crime, Zambian authorities might investigate, especially if it gains public traction. For example, a murder accusation could prompt an inquest. Civil suits. The Lungu family or others targeted by the claim might file lawsuits, e.g., for defamation or estate disputes. Public order. If the funeral became chaotic, police might intervene, potentially arresting the man for public disturbance. Political reactions. Government. Zambia's ruling UPND might comment if the claim implicates Lungu's PF party, using it to score political points. Opposition. The PF might defend the Lungu family, framing the claim as a smear campaign. Civil society. Activists or NGOs might call for transparency if the claim involves public interest, e.g., corruption. Media. Zambian media, e.g., the masked Zambian watchdog, would likely cover the story, shaping public opinion. Evidence needed. Reactions would be documented in official statements from police or courts, political party press releases, ex-posts from Zambian political accounts or media outlets. Conclusion. Legal reactions could include investigations or lawsuits, while political reactions might involve partisan responses or media amplification. Specifics are needed for a precise assessment. 9. Final thoughts. Fact or stunt. Determining whether the man's claim is fact or stunt requires context, but here's a reasoned analysis. Arguments for fact. Evidence-based claims. If the man provides verifiable proof, e.g., documents, witnesses, his claim is more likely true. For example, a DNA test proving kinship or records showing corruption would lend credibility. Risk-taking. Making a public claim at a funeral is risky, as it invites scrutiny and potential legal consequences. A genuine whistleblower might choose such a moment for maximum impact. Contextual plausibility. If the Lungu family is tied to controversies, e.g., Edgar Lungu's presidency faced corruption allegations, the claim might align with known issues. Arguments for stunt. Dramatic timing. Funerals are emotional, high-visibility events, ideal for attention-seeking. A false claim could exploit this for personal or political gain. Lack of evidence. If the man offers no proof, his claim is likely a stunt to provoke or extort. Political motives. In Zambia's polarized climate, the claim could be a political maneuver to embarrass the Lungu family or PF. Historical precedents. Public scandals often involve exaggerated or fabricated claims to disrupt or gain leverage. Balancing the two. Without details, the claim leans toward a stunt, as dramatic funeral interruptions often prioritize spectacle over substance. However, Zambia's political history includes real whistleblowers exposing corruption, so a factual claim isn't impossible. The chaos suggests the claim was divisive, which could support either scenario, a polarizing truth or a provocative lie.